Okay. I believe we are live. おはようございます。Let me just make sure that I am talking to someone. Yes, we are live. So, I will be watching carefully my phone in case anyone has any comments. So just feel free to comment on this video below. If you have a question, or if there's something you don't understand, or if you want me to repeat something, we are going to be learning about some kawaii culture today, or maybe some various Japanese things, Japanese gifts, Japanese souvenirs, things you can find in Japan, unique to Japan as well. So before we get into the lesson, I am going to go over some vocabulary. So let us do that very quickly. Where did I put the vocabulary? Here we go. Okay. So let's talk 買い物. 買い物. This is the name of the lesson, I believe. 買い物, which means shopping, right? 買い物, shopping. And then when we're going shopping in Japan, we could get some presents or souvenirs. So presents or souvenirs. So present would be プレゼント. プレゼント. Right here. プレゼント. Present. That comes from the English word present. おはようございます、アリアンさん. Nice to hear from you. And then the word for souvenir, お土産. お土産. お土産 is a souvenir that you can buy. So we have プレゼント and お土産. Both of those. In Japan, these are still kind of popular. 絵はがき. 絵はがき. Or you could say ポストカード. ポストカード, which is, these are both postcards. Okay? 絵はがき is the more Japanese way to say it. Postocard is kind of the, I guess, foreign English way to say postcard. I was just talking with my fiance, actually, she's Japanese, and she tells me that she still uses postcards or ehagaki all the time. When she travels, she sends one to her parents or something. And I told her, wow, in America, I don't think many people use these anymore. But I think a lot of Japanese still use them, so this is kind of worth learning. 絵はがき, postocard, either one. The word for umbrella in Japan, 傘. 傘, 傘. Okay? This is important. Where I used to live, it was very rainy where I used to live, so I always had to have casa on hand. The word for camera is easy. カメラ. 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 It's almost exactly the same spelling, but in English we use a C, right? How about the word for a wallet, or really anything that you keep your money in, is a 財布. 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 Okay, you'll notice here there's some Japanese bills actually in this wallet. 財布. Okay. The word for magazine in Japanese, 雑誌. 雑誌. This double S here, this S-H-I, shi, it's a harsh, it's kind of a tough sound. 雑誌. You kind of have to hold the sh a little long. 雑誌. Okay? And it is a rising tone. 雑誌. You're rising your pitch as you're saying it. You're raising your pitch as you 雑誌. Okay? Does anyone watching use 雑誌? Do you read 雑誌? If so, what kind? I'm curious. The Japanese word for a ninja star or a throwing star. This is a tool that ninjas apparently would use way back when. And this in Japanese is shuriken. 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 This is what they look like, or this is one example of a shuriken. 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 Yeah. If you want to talk about teacups, this might make a good omiyage, a good souvenir. Teacup. Teacup. Right? This is simple, comes from the English. I don't know why in this document they use a H. Of course, that could trick people into thinking it's pronounced teacup. It's not teacup. This H should go away actually. It's just teacup. Teacup. Okay? Teacup. We have what's called an electronic dictionary over here. 電子辞書. 電子辞書. Now, you might not have heard about this, but recently Japanese haven't been using them, I've noticed, but still they are very popular in Japan, especially in schools or even in university settings. 電子辞書 you might see, and it is a dictionary, but it's electronic, which is why obviously it's called an electronic dictionary. And we don't really use this in English, we don't really use it in America. We don't really use it in American culture, but in Japanese you will see these around. They're just convenient dictionaries. 電子辞書. The word for chopsticks in Japanese, this is important. Hashi. Hashi. You're falling. This is a falling pitch. Hashi. Okay? Hashi. Chopsticks. And then this little item that you place your chopsticks on is called in English a chopstick holder or hashioki. 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 The oki actually comes from the Japanese verb to place, and hashi is chopsticks. So a chopstick placing item. Hashioki. Okay? This is so your chopsticks don't get dirty. You don't have to put them on the table, the dirty table. Let's move on. We're just soaring through these various words. The word for flower in Japanese, hana. Hana. Again, you are raising in pitch. Hana. Okay? The word for handkerchief, hankachi. 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 Okay, hankachi, handkerchief. That's one way of saying it. I'm doing this tone, this pitch right here. Hankachi, it's going up. There's also this way. Hankachi, kind of going down at the end. Either way, if you care about pitch, good for you. If not, it's fine. Most Japanese will understand what you are trying to say. The word for video camera, video camera. Video camera. Video camera. This is a video camera. You don't see these so much nowadays. Most people use their phones, video camera. I don't know, you might see it, some older people maybe. The word for pen, very difficult. Pen. Pen. I hope that one isn't too difficult for you. There's a famous sentence, this is a pen, right? これはペンです. Or maybe you know the song, I have a pen. I have an apple, right? Pen in Japanese. This word is very interesting. Ear pick. The English here is ear pick. But in America, we don't have these, do we? We have what are called Q-tips. And we use Q-tips to clean our ears. In Japanese, they use mimikaki. Mimikaki, right? Mimi means ear, actually. Ear. So mimikaki is ear pick. Mimikaki. I've never used these before, actually. I'm kind of afraid to. They look long. And actually, we will see a picture of someone using it later in our lesson. The word for a toy in Japan is omocha. Omocha. Some kind of toy. Here you actually see a great traditional Japanese toy. I have this, actually. Maybe I could show you. This is called a daruma otoshi. Daruma otoshi. This particular toy. This guy right up here is daruma. And the object of this toy, this game, is to kind of knock down all the pegs. without knocking the daruma over. So this game is called daruma otoshi, but the word for toy in general is omocha. Omocha. A stamp, if you're ever mailing something, you should use a kitte for a stamp. Kitte. Again, double T. Whenever you see a double consonant in Japanese, it means you are going to say it a little harder, a little harsher. Kitte. Okay? The word for a stuffed animal or a stuffed toy, nuigurumi. Nuigurumi. And actually, it's kind of rare to see words that start with nu. So this is one useful word, I think, if you are playing a game of, what is that game called? Shiritori, I think. A game where you have to start words with the syllable of the previous word. If a word ends in nu, like inu, you could use nuigurumi for the next word. Nuigurumi, a stuffed animal, stuffed toy. The word for video game or just games is game. Game, right? Game. Game. The word for CD, CD. Again, this H, I don't know where they're getting this H, but CD is how you say CD. The word for DVD is a funny one, I think. It's pronounced DVD. DVD. Okay? The V in Japanese people don't really use the V sound. They use a B sound, a B sound. So this becomes DVD for DVD. Okay? Actually, I have purchased many Japanese DVD over the years, mainly Disney movies for my class. DVD. The verb for to give something, you're going to put the thing you're giving or the something where this squiggle is, the tilde, and then you say o agemasu. Something o agemasu, to give something. To receive something, you will use this verb o moraimasu. O moraimasu. Okay? And I always get this question, are you saying the u at the end? No, I am not. I am not saying the u. It's just a plain kind of S sound. Agemasu. Moraimasu. Okay, so this is common when verbs end in su. And I think we will stop there for today. There's more vocab. We will cover it next week. But let us do the lesson for today. Let's do. So we are talking about lesson 15. Kawaii. Kawaii. I'm sure many of you have heard this word before. Kawaii. Kawaii means cute. Cute. Originally it means small, but in Japan, if you saw something that was small, like a small dog or a small cat, you say, kawaii. And it turned into kind of a cute meaning. Oh, it's so cute and small. Kawaii. Kawaii. So many things are kawaii, right? Section 1. Are nan desu ka? Are nan desu ka? Okay. Are in this case means that thing over there. That thing over there, nan desu ka? Remember, nan desu ka is a key phrase. It means, what is it? What is it? So in Japanese, that thing over there, what is it? Are nan desu ka? Are nan desu ka? Okay. So in this lesson, we're going to be asking this question a lot. What is that? What is that? What is that? What is this? Right? Nan desu ka? Are nan desu ka? Okay, let me see if I want to skip this really quickly. Let me cover these words here in the middle. Hashioki. We've already talked about these actually a little bit. Hashioki, right? This is the chopstick holder, right? Chopstick holder, hashioki. Here's some pictures. We have shuriken. Again, the ninja star. You see a picture of a ninja right here with his ninja stars. I think these were used as a form of attack, actually. Like they were sharp and they would stick into someone's body or, a tree that you were practicing on. If you've ever watched Naruto, right, they use shuriken all the time. And then number 5 here, mimikaki. Again, this is the ear pick. I guess you could translate it as an ear pick. In English, we never say that. It's always Q-tip, right? This is, I guess you could call a Japanese Q-tip, a long one, right? And then we have this phrase right here, koyatte, koyatte. Koyatte means literally do it like this. Do it like this. Or in English, usually I translate it as like this. Like this. Or this is when you're showing someone how to use an item in Japan. This is when you're using a tool and you're showing how to use this tool in Japan. こうやって、こうやって. So use it like this, right? If we're talking about mimikaki, the Japanese Q-tip, right? And I've never used mimikaki before. I've never used. I've only seen it in lessons like this. So if someone was to teach me, if someone was to explain how to use mimikaki, maybe they would say, こうやって, right? Like this. This is how you do it. Okay, and also we're going to talk about maybe some buildings. These are famous buildings in Tokyo. I believe this building, this kind of golden building in the center, is a alcohol company building, Asahi maybe, but I think so, because one of my friends before told me that it was designed on purpose this way to replicate kind of an alcoholic beverage with the foam at the top. So you got the white foam at the top and the yellowish golden alcoholic color. That's what I was told. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I think it could be true. Let's try this activity. Actually, this is it's not really an activity. It's a listening section. So let's try listening. Kara-san and Suzuki-san are now in Asakusa. Listen to their conversation. So here's Kara-san and Suzuki-san. They are in Asakusa. And Asakusa is famous for this Kaminarimon, this big, huge lantern, Japanese-style lantern underneath a big gate. So this is Asakusa, and we are going to listen to a conversation. 181. Let me just load it up here. 181. Hopefully you can hear it.
1. 鈴木さん、あれ、何ですか？ああ、ビールの会社です。へえ、そうですか。面白いですね。ええ。
So she used our phrase, right? あれ、何ですか? What is that? So she's pointing to, yes, this this building here in number 1. And you'll notice, what did she say? She said, ビールの会社です. ビール is the word for beer. 会社, company. Oh, that is a beer company. So I was right. This is the beer company building. Let's listen to number 2. I think they're going to talk about this building, this tall tower right here. Number 2.
2. あれ、何ですか？どれですか？高いタワー。ああ、あれは東京スカイツリーです。へえ、高いですね。
Yeah, so we use some words here maybe you're not so familiar with. どれですか? Right? Well, first, I believe Kara-san asked, あれ何ですか? What is that? What is this big thing right here? This tall tower. And Suzuki-san said, あ、どれですか? どれ? Which means, which one? What are you pointing at? What are you talking about? どれ? どれですか? And then Kara-san said, 高いタワー。高いタワー。高い, right, means high. Tawa is tower. And this is the Tokyo Sky Tree. If you are ever in Tokyo, please find the Tokyo Sky Tree. Pay to go in the Tokyo Sky Tree. It is amazing. It is so cool. I was up there. They have a little cafe, and you could eat in the cafe. And if the weather is just right, you can actually see Mount Fuji way in the distance. I was fortunate to go when the weather was very good. And it was sunset, and I was with a friend, and we were eating in the cafe, and we saw Fujisan. We saw Mount Fuji way in the distance, behind the sunset. Oh, it was actually kind of like a good date spot. If you want to take someone on a date, go to the top of Tokyo Sky Tree. It's really cool. All right, let's move on. Number 3. Number 3.
3. ああ、かわいい。これ、何ですか？箸置きです。箸置き。ええ、箸をこうやって置きます。
So Kara-san saw the hashioki and said, あ、かわいい。かわいい。Oh, this is so cute, she said. Oh, this is so cute. But she didn't know what it was. So she asked, これ、何ですか? これ、何ですか? This is actually a good phrase to write down. Let me just... これ、何ですか? Right? In Japanese, これ、何ですか? Yeah. So we learned previously this phrase at the top. あれ、何ですか? Which means, what is that? Way over there. What is that thing? これ means this. What is this thing? What is this thing? これ、何ですか? Right? So she's asking, what is this? And Suzuki-san is explaining, あ、箸置きです。箸置きです。こうやって箸を置きます。So just like this, she's showing her, visually she's showing her, this is how you put the hashi. This is how you place your chopsticks down. こうやって you'll notice she used. Let's go on to number 4. 手裏剣。
4. 鈴木さん、これ何ですか？ああ、手裏剣です。手裏？ええ、手裏剣。忍者がこうやって使います。へえ、面白いですね。
So 忍者がこうやって just like this こうやって使います right? The ninjas would use it just like that. So 忍者がこうやって like this 使いますね。And number 5. Number 5. 耳かき right?
5. ああ、かわいい。鈴木さん、これ何ですか？耳かきですよ。耳？ええ、こうやって耳の掃除をします。
You'll notice at the end she said, This is a common thing to do in Japanese when you are kind of processing new information. Yeah. 耳かき. Yeah, she said, こうやって so like this, こうやって耳の掃除をします. You clean your ears like this, right? And she's showing her with こうやって. Okay, again, guys, if you have any questions at any time, feel free to write them in the comments of this video. I am watching diligently. We have some other things here that you can maybe see in Japan. This is a sword shop on the left. They sell swords like katana, ha, right? Hamono. We have chopsticks. 1,000 yen. Remember, if you've been in our classes, our physical classes before, 1,000 yen is about $10-ish, right? $10. These are traditional Japanese masks, right? If you are doing some kind of play or whatever. Normally in America, we use masks for Halloween, right? But in Japan, they don't really do that. So masks are used maybe for productions or like plays or something. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to talk about section 2 now. かわいいハンカチが欲しいです。かわいいハンカチが欲しいです。Let's break this one down. かわいい, we already talked about, right? かわいい means cute. A cute what? ハンカチ. This was in our vocab earlier. This is handkerchief, right? A handkerchief, some kind of cloth that you can use. かわいいハンカチが欲しいです。This is a good phrase to know. が欲しいです。が欲しいです means I want. I want this thing. I want a cute handkerchief. This is probably a girl saying it. I don't know. Could be anybody. But かわいいハンカチが欲しいです。I have this like inclination to say ハンカチフ. It's not ハンカチフ, it's ハンカチ, right? In Japanese. That could be tough to say. Before, let me see really quickly if I want to go. Yeah. Let's look at this お土産リスト. So what is お土産 again? お土産, we learned this earlier. Souvenir, right? These are souvenirs that you can buy. The word listo means list, right? That comes from English. So this is a souvenir list. お土産リスト. Here we have some things on the list. T-shirts. I believe we did T-shirts. We learned T-shirts way back, like months back. T-shirts, pretty self-explanatory. It's a T-shirt, right? T-shirts. 2枚. Oh, 2枚. What is 2枚? Actually, you can see the number 2 here. So 2 is 2, and then 枚. 枚 means, usually it means sheets, right? Like 2 sheets of something. But you could also use for any flat object. 枚 helps us count flat objects. So T-shirts 2枚 means 2 T-shirts. In English, we just say 2 T-shirts. In Japanese, you need this counter. 枚 is used for flat objects like paper or clothing, right? So this is why we use 枚 for T-shirts. How about 絵はがき? 絵はがき. Remember, 絵はがき is postcard. And those are flat. Those are flat objects. So we also use 枚 for 絵はがき. 8 means 8. 8枚. 8枚. So 8 flat objects. 8 postcards in this case, right? 絵はがき8枚. And finally, well, not finally for our list, but ハンカチ. ハンカチ. So again, handkerchief, 3枚. Remember, ハンカチ is a flat object, so we need to use 枚 when counting. 3枚. 3 means 3, 枚 flat objects. So 3 handkerchiefs, 8 postcards, 2 T-shirts so far. Then we have 傘. Casa. Remember casa from our list earlier. This is umbrella. Umbrella. 一本. 一本. Okay, so we're going to go over some of these counting words. There's many counting words for different objects in Japanese. What I will tell you right now is 一本 means one long thing. So in this case, an umbrella is long, right? So you should use 一本. 一本. And we'll go over again the counters in a second. Let's finish with 時計. 時計 is a clock or a watch, right? 時計. And maybe smaller type objects, we could use ko, the counter for ko, usually used for smaller, sometimes round objects. Ikko. Ikko means one of those kind of things. Ikko. Toke ikko. Kasa ippon. Hankachi 3枚. Ehagaki 8枚. T-shirts 2枚. Okay, so again, this is a list of various items, omiyage, right, with the number, however many you want. So this is, and actually we are going to look at some of these things. Before we do, I want to talk about counters in Japanese. One of the things that makes Japanese very difficult and very different from English is counters. Counters are words that you put on, well, they're not really words, they're suffixes that you attach like to the end of a number. So you have a number and you need a counter on the end to tell you what kind of thing you are counting. What kind of thing am I counting? So here are some 3 counters. There's actually many different dozens and dozens of counters in Japanese. Fortunately, you only have to know maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 different counters in everyday life, right? The other counters outside of those 5 are very specialized items. But these you should definitely know. Mai. Okay, let's start with mai. Mai is used for, again, flat objects. Paper, clothing items, postcards, handkerchiefs, right? So you will put the number in front and then mai. So right, 1, 1mai. 2 is 2, 2mai. 3, 3mai. And you know what? I could just type this for you. Let's try that. Right? 1mai is one flat object. 2mai. And usually I say sheets for this. 2 sheets. 3mai, 3 sheets. 4mai, 4 sheets. 5mai. And 5 sheets is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the first 5 numbers, basically. You should learn those, I think. You should memorize 1 through 5. At least memorize 1 through 5. 1mai, 2mai, 3mai, 4mai, 5mai. If you're talking about long, cylindrical, usually cylindrical objects like an umbrella or a tube, whatever, you will use hon, right? Hon. And there are a few exceptions from 1 to 5. So from 1 to 5, number 1 is ippon. Ippon. If you're talking about fingers even, you could say ippon, nihon, right? 3本. Nihon is going to be 2 long objects. 3本, this is another exception, will be 3 long objects. 4本, I believe, yeah, 4本, I don't really use this so much, so I will have doubts. 4本, I believe, is 4 long objects, and 5本is 5 long objects. Okay, this is with hon. Okay, with mimikaki as well, mimikaki or hashi, those you will count with hon, the hon ending. If you're talking about smaller items, general small items, you can use the ko ending. Ko. The only exception for this one is ikko. Okay? And then it goes niko, 3ko, 4ko, 5ko. Alright? Again, at least memorize the first 5. And I gave you the first 5 here. Okay? 1ko, 2ko, 3ko, 4ko, 5ko. 1本、2本、3本、4本、5本。1枚、2枚、3枚、4枚、5枚. So there's 3 different ways to count 3 different types of objects. Okay? General small items, long cylindrical, and flat sheets, basically. So we are going to do this activity, listening activity. Carla-san is going to buy some souvenirs. What is she talking about in the shop? So I'm going to play 5 audio clips for you, and I'll play them twice every time, just so you get a chance to listen. And she's gonna mention one of these. For hashi, maybe you don't use hon. I just had I had my fiance, she messaged me. Maybe you don't use this for hashi. Yeah, that would be something else, right? Thank you, Haruka. Anyways, we're gonna do this listening activity. I'm gonna play 5 audio clips, and we're gonna pick from this list of pictures, right? We have A here, we have B, C looks like handkerchiefs, D is umbrellas, and E will be watches, toke or udedoke, right? Toke. So let me play 186. Let me see. And you know what? I am going to do this. There we go. Okay. 186. Here we go. They did number 1 for you. Let's listen anyway.
1、カーラさん、何が欲しいですか？ハンカチが欲しいです。どんなハンカチがいいですか？かわいいハンカチが3枚欲しいです。姉の子供にあげます。
We're talking about hankachi, right? So that would be C in this case. That's why she put C for number 1. And how many did she ask for? Why don't we listen one more time and try to listen how many she wanted. How many did she ask for?
1、カーラさん、何が欲しいですか？ハンカチが欲しいです。どんなハンカチがいいですか？かわいいハンカチが3枚欲しいです。姉の子供にあげます。
3枚, right? And you'll notice she's using this structure up here. Ga hoshii desu. I want 3 handkerchiefs. And actually at the end, you'll notice she said, I'm going to give them to someone. Agemasu. I will give them to someone. Number 2, really quickly.
2、私、T シャツが欲しいです。どんな T シャツですか？面白い T シャツ2枚。姉と妹にあげます。
Okay, don't worry if you didn't catch everything in that sentence. The main point is that you catch what she wants. So what did she want? Let's play it one more time, see if you can catch.
2、私、T シャツが欲しいです。どんな T シャツですか？面白い T シャツ2枚。
I'm going to pause it right there. What did she ask for? T-shirts, right? So for number 2, we should write A, right? Because this is A, T-shirt. And then the other person is asking a second question. どんな T-shirts ですか? どんな means what kind of T-shirt do you want? And then she said in this conversation, 面白い T-shirts が欲しいです. 面白い, if you remember from previous lessons, means a interesting or funny T-shirt. が欲しいです. I want, right? I want an interesting T-shirt. So I think these T-shirts would be interesting. They just have Japanese characters on them. Love, samurai, dream, or whatever. You know. Let's listen to the rest.
姉と妹にあげます。
姉と妹にあげます。I'm gonna give it to あげます。姉 and 妹. If you remember from our family lesson, these are family members. 姉, older sister. 妹, younger sister. I'm gonna give it to them, she said. Number 3.
3、ポストカードも欲しいです。ああ、絵はがきですね。はい、絵はがき8枚欲しいです。友達にあげます。日本的な絵はがきがいいですよね。はい。
One more time, let's break it down.
3、 ポストカードも欲しいです。
Okay. Here's your answer. ポストカードが欲しいです。That would be B, right? B. These are postcards. And then the other person says,
ああ、絵はがきですね。
絵はがきですね。絵はがきですね。Oh, you mean 絵はがき, postcards. This is a more Japanese way to say it.
はい、絵はがき8枚欲しいです。
And then she says, 絵はがき8枚欲しいです。欲しい. I want 8. And you'll notice when we count in Japanese, the counting word goes after the thing, right? We are counting. In English, it's the opposite. I want 8 postcards. In Japanese, postcards 8. I want, right? It's kind of like Yoda. If you're talking like Yoda, it sounds kind of Japanese word order.
友達にあげます。日本的な絵はがきがいいですよね。
This is something we will study next week, actually. This is a vocab word or phrase we will study next week. 日本的な something something. 日本的 means Japanese-ish, or like a Japanese-like thing. Oh, a very Japanese ehagaki, right? Would be good, right?
はい。
So again, the answer should be B. We would write B for number 3. Number 4, what are we gonna write now?
4. 何が欲しいですか？時計が欲しいです。どんな時計？かっこいい時計が1個欲しいです。私が使います。
Did you catch what she wants? Let's play it one more time.
4. 何が欲しいですか？時計。
This is an important question. 何が欲しいですか? What do you want? 何が欲しいですか? What do you want? And her answer was 時計, right? What is 時計? 時計 is a watch or a clock, right? 時計. So I think we will write E for the answer in number 4. E. What else does she say?
時計が欲しいです。どんな時計？
Again, this word donna. What kind of watch?
かっこいい時計が1個欲しいです。
And she said, かっこいい時計1個欲しいです. かっこいい is a really good word you should learn. It means cool or stylish or fashionable, right? かっこいい, really cool watch I want. And she said 1個, right? One. I just want one cool watch.
私が使います。
私が So I 使います. If you remember 使います, that is the verb for to use. To use. I will use it, right? I'm not giving it to anyone. I'm gonna use it. So E for number 4. And I think we know what number 5 will be, but let's play it just for fun.
5. あ、傘も欲しいです。傘ですか。はい。日本はおしゃれな傘があります。そうですか。多分高いですよ。大丈夫です。1本です。母にプレゼントします。
One more time. Let's break it down.
5. あ、傘も欲しいです。
Okay. 傘も欲しいです。傘. Remember, 傘 is what? Umbrella. Umbrella. So you could put D for number 5. This is the answer. D, umbrella. も means also. 欲しいです. I want. I also want an umbrella.
傘ですか。はい。日本はおしゃれな傘があります。
日本は so 日本 Japan as for Japan, おしゃれ what you say? おしゃれな傘があります something like that. おしゃれ is a adjective which means, and we will study this more next week, but it's an adjective that means basically stylish or chic, like a stylish. Japan has stylish umbrellas, or Japan has some cool fancy is a good word, fancy umbrellas. おしゃれな傘。
そうですか。多分高いですよ。
Yeah, this is true. 多分 maybe 高いですよ。高い means it can mean tall or expensive. So the listener who is Japanese understands, they are expensive. おしゃれな傘は高いかもしれません。They are probably expensive, right? And that's true. Actually, normal umbrellas in Japan can be expensive. I lived in a very rainy town. It rained all the time. I had to buy a few umbrellas, okay? And they were quite expensive. They could get expensive, right?
大丈夫です。一本です。母にプレゼントします。
So the listener, or the first girl said, 大丈夫です。大丈夫. This is a good phrase. It means it's okay. It's all right. 大丈夫です。一本です。一本. Again, right? Actually, we had this in our list right here. 一本 means only one long object, one umbrella. 母にプレゼントにします. Something, she said something like that. I'm gonna give it to haha. What is haha again? Haha. Mom. My mom. Okay? That's a good word to remember. Okay, why don't we move on? This is the second part of the lesson. I think we will finish here. Let's do the dialogue first, and you can repeat after me if you want. 誰にあげますか?誰にあげますか? Right? 誰 means who. に in this case means to. So we're starting out by saying to who? To who? あげます to means give, right? To give. Ka, if you add ka, it makes it a question. Remember in Japanese, ka equals question. So to who will you give, right? There's an implied you here. Who will you give it to? 誰にあげますか?誰にあげますか? The responder says, 友達にあげます。友達にあげます。Remember, 友達 means friend or a friend. に to あげます give. I will give to a friend. Now this word friend is white because you could put whoever you want. You could put whoever you want in there. 母、父、妹、弟、兄、姉、いとこ, whatever. You could put, sensei, right? You could give to sensei, whatever. Or akachan, baby, you could give to a baby. Or a dog, inu, inu ni agemasu. Some people use a different word, but it's fine. You could put whatever you want in it. And then the follow-up question. 何をあげますか?何をあげますか? Nani, remember, means what. The o marks the thing that we are gonna give. Okay, so that's why we need o in this case. Agemasu, give, ka, question. So literally, what are you gonna give? What will you give specifically? And the answer here, 絵はがきをあげます。絵はがき. 絵はがき. A postcard, right? Postcard. をあげます. I will give a postcard. 絵はがきをあげます. And again, this is white. You could put whatever word you want in there. おもちゃ, a toy, をあげます。ぬいぐるみをあげます. I will give a stuffed animal. Pen, ペンをあげます. I will give a pen. You could put whatever you want. This is a very useful construction here. So, why don't we listen to this activity? Okay, this is actually going to be the same audio. I'm going to replay the audio we just listened to. But now we are going to match who we are giving to. Let's go over these really quickly. F here says watashi, me, myself. Kara, right? She's going to use it herself. G, ane to imoto. So ane, remember, is big sister. To in this case means and. Imoto, younger sister. So to her big sister and her younger sister. Haha. Haha is again my mom, my mother. Ane no kodomo. Ane no kodomo. Ane, older sister. And then this kodomo means child. And if you add no in between, it links them. So my older sister's child. My older sister's child. In other words, your niece or nephew, whatever. J, tomodachi, a friend, right? Tomodachi. And of course, we have A, B, C, D, E on the left here. We already went over what these were, so let's just get back into the audio really quickly. We're just going to go over these one time. See if you can listen for who we are giving it to.
1、カーラさん、何が欲しいですか？ハンカチが欲しいです。どんなハンカチがいいですか？かわいいハンカチが3枚欲しいです。姉の子供にあげます。
Very clearly, right? At the end, she said, 姉の子供にあげます. I will give it to my niece or nephew, 姉の子供, my sister's child. So they drew a line from A to I. A to I. So let's do number 2.
2、私、T シャツが欲しいです。どんな T シャツですか？面白い T シャツ2枚。姉と妹にあげます。
You'll notice something. Well, she talked about T-shirts, 面白い T-shirts, an interesting shirt or a funny shirt. 2枚. She said 2枚. So two shirts. This is a hint. Who are we going to give it to? Probably 2 different people. And actually that is the case. At the end, she said 姉と妹にあげます. I will give it to my older sister and my younger sister. My sisters, right? So I would draw a line from C to G. From C to G in this case. 3.
3、ポストカードも欲しいです。ああ、絵はがきですね。はい、絵はがき8枚欲しいです。友達にあげます。日本的な絵はがきがいいですよね。はい。
At the end, she said, 友達にあげます. I will give to a friend or friends. She got 8 of them. So I imagine she will give to 8 different people, 8 friends. So draw a line from B to J. 友達. Let's do number 4.
4、何が欲しいですか？時計が欲しいです。どんな時計？かっこいい時計が1個欲しいです。私が使います。
At the end, she said, 私が使います. Again, I will use it. So draw a line from E all the way to F. 私が使います. And last but not least, number 5.
5、あ、傘も欲しいです。傘ですか。はい。日本はおしゃれな傘があります。そうですか。多分高いですよ。大丈夫です。1本です。母にプレゼントします。
Haha, she said. So my mom, I'm going to give it to my mom as a present. H, right? I would connect D with H. D with H. So how did we do? Was that okay? Was it too fast? Too difficult? you'll notice when you go over these words over and over again, it will get easier, trust me. So before we move on to section 3, I think next week, I only have 5 minutes left, so next week we will do this can do 39. We're going to review a little bit what we did this week for next week, and then we will do can do 39 and move on to section 3. We'll also go over some more vocabulary next week. Okay, thank you guys. If you want to stay around, we have a bilingual, actually it's usually trilingual Bible study. It will be streamed to the Facebook page, so you could just stick around here if you want to watch that. If not, I will see you guys next week. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate it. And please be safe. Please be safe. Stay inside. Love you guys. Bye.